Sorry, I think. Okay, yeah, we got it, sir. Close the door and go. Hello. Yes, Navi.
Hi, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. It is okay now. Yeah.
A very good morning to one and all. Don't save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. This famous quote given by Warren Buffett, American business magnate, philanthropist, and a great investor. I welcome you all to this national webinar on strategy for managing personal finance, organized by Rani Channamma University, Belagavi, PG Department of Studies and Research in Commerce, in collaboration with Association of Mutual Funds in India. I welcome you all. Now may I request Dr. B.S. Navi, sir, Professor and Chairman, Department of Commerce, RCU Belagavi, to welcome the August gathering. Please, sir.
Good morning to all the participants of the national webinar on the theme Strategy for Managing Personal Finance. Respected inaugurator of this program, Professor M. Ramachandra Gowda, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Rani Channamma University, Belagavi, Karnataka. I, on behalf of the Department of Commerce and the officials of the Rani Channamma University and from the officials of the Association of Mutual Funds of India, I wholeheartedly welcome Professor M. Ramachandra Gowda Sirji for this national webinar as an inaugurator of the function. Sir, please welcome, sir.
Thank you.
I also take this opportunity to welcome keynote speaker of this national webinar, Mr. Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant and former DGM, Securities Exchange Board of India. Sir, on behalf of Rani Channamma University, Belagavi, Karnataka, and Department of Studies and Research in Commerce, and on behalf of the faculties of the Department of Commerce and students, I welcome you wholeheartedly for this national webinar as a key speaker on the main theme, Managing Personal Finance. Sir, welcome you, sir. I also take this opportunity to welcome guest speaker, Sri Raghu Vilasagaram, Assistant General Manager, Securities Exchange Board of India. Sir, on behalf of all the participants from the different parts and from Rani Channamma University, I welcome you wholeheartedly as a guest speaker in this particular national webinar. Sir, welcome you. I also take this opportunity to welcome President of National Webinar, Professor H.Y. Kamble, Senior Professor of the Department of Commerce, Dean, Faculty of Commerce, Rani Channamma University, Belagavi, for this national webinar to preside over the function. Sir, welcome you, sir. I also take this opportunity to welcome the Senior Professor of the Department of Commerce, Director, School of Business and Economics, Professor S.B. Akash, to be in the midst of all of us. Say, sir, I welcome you to this program. I also take this opportunity to welcome all the faculty members, Mr. Sachindra Jr., Mrs. Yasmin Begum Nadaf, all the research scholars, students of the Department of Commerce for this national wholeheartedly. Sir, the national webinar has been registered by more than 1,500 participants from throughout the nation and even from the abroad. Sir, we have participants from Karnataka, Maharashtra, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Jammu and Kashmir, Odisha, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, New Delhi, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Meghalaya, Gujarat, Assam, Himachal Pradesh, Haryana, and when we go through the registration, we find that from every state, the participants were representing this national webinar. And I also very preciously refer that the participants from the other parts of the nation, that is other parts of the world, that is from Indonesia, Bangladesh, and Oromoya, have also took participation in this national seminar. So I, on behalf of the Rani Channamma University officials, on behalf of the Department of Commerce, wholeheartedly welcome all the participants from the India and abroad, wholeheartedly. Welcome you all. I also take this opportunity to introduce today's key speakers, inaugurator, and resource persons for this national webinar. The national webinar on the theme strategy for managing personal finance is going to be inaugurated by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Ramachandra Gowda, sir. Sir has put 34 years of rich experience in research, and he served in different capacities as a registrar of Bangalore University, Bangalore, then as a chairman and dean, Department of Commerce and Management, Bangalore University. Sir has served as an elected member of Academic Council, Senate, and Syndicate member of the Bangalore University. Sir has also served as a chairman and member of Board of Examiner, Board of Studies, faculty of Board of Appointments of the various universities, and even sir as a subject expert in various midterm evaluation of commerce and management projects of the University Grants Commission. Sir is a life member of many professional bodies and more than 15 research scholars and more than 6 MPhil candidates. And even at present, 6 candidates are doing research under the guidance of Professor M. Ramachandra Gowda Sirji. Sir has presented more than 75 research papers in national and international seminars and conferences, and he has published 6 books in commerce and management area. Sir has organized the prestigious 21st All India Commerce Conference and 66th All India Accounting Association Conference on the changing dimension of corporate reporting under IFRS regime. And even 39th All India Accounting Conference has also been organized by so with this brief, I once again welcome wholeheartedly Professor M. Ramachandra Gowda sir as inaugurator of this program here. Sir, welcome you once again.
Thank you.
The another key of this national webinar, that is Sri Suryakant Sharmaji. Suryakant Sharmaji is a commerce graduate and masters in law with specialization in corporate laws. He also a chartered associate of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. Sri Sharmaji has over 35 years of experience in banking and finance and securities market, and has served in leading financial institutions, and thereafter in Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance and Government of India, and finally at the Securities Exchange Board of India. Sri Sharmaji joined Security Exchange Board of India in 2003 and served there for more than 15 years in different capacities at Securities Exchange Board of India. And later, in addition to the various assignments, he was DGM in charge of the Office of Investor Awareness and Education in SEBI's Northern region for more than 5 years. Sri Sharmaji is also a member of working group of NCERT for developing vocational course on mutual fund for students of 11th and 12th standards, and he is a mentor for various non-government organizations which are working for creating financial literacy and investor awareness program in the country. Under his supervision, more than 15,000 financial literacy and investor awareness programs were conducted across North India, and he himself has addressed as a guest speaker in more than 600 investor awareness programs. After superannuation from the Securities Exchange Board of India in 2019, He has joined Association of Mutual Funds in India and apex body of mutual funds in India as a senior consultant, North India. With this brief, I present you before the key speaker, Sri Suryakant Sharma ji. Sir, welcome you. I also take this opportunity to welcome and introduce another guest speaker, that is Sri Raghu Vilasagaram. Sri Raghu Vilasagaram is Assistant General Manager at Securities Exchange Board of India, a chartered accountant by profession, and he joined SEBI in the year 2013. And he has around 5 years of experience in handling investigation matters related to securities market. Presently, since last 2 years, Sri Raghu Vilasagaram is in investment management department and heading a key member of mutual fund division. This brief, I also welcome and present you, Sri Raghu Vilasagaram. Sir, welcome you. And very importantly, I also take this opportunity to introduce the president of today's function, Professor H.Y. Kamble sir. Professor H.Y. Kamble sir has almost 40 years of experience, rich teaching and research experience in the field of commerce and management. Sir is a senior professor in the Department of Commerce, Rani Channamma University, Belagavi, and he has produced more than 15 PhDs and more than 15 MPhil in the department. And sir has published more number of research articles in international and national journals of repute, and he has presented good number of papers. Sir has chaired various sessions as a chairperson of the various national and international seminars and conferences. And sir is a dean faculty of the commerce, and he is a syndicate member of the Rani Channamma University, academic council member of the Rani Channamma University, and he is a member of the board of appointment of teachers in various universities. With this brief, I also take this opportunity to welcome Professor H.Y. Kamble sir as a president of this national webinar. So once again, I take the opportunity to welcome all the participants to this national webinar, and probably the resource persons are going to address all the questions, whatever the participants are going to raise. And please just upload that in the chat box, so that definitely the resource persons and the key speakers are going to clarify all the doubts related with the strategy for managing personal finance. With this, I thank the organizers, especially Sharma sir, Raghu sir, and even the coordinator of this particular program for assisting us in organizing this grand program with more than 1,500 registration from throughout the nation and even abroad also. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your warm welcome. Now may I request Professor M. Ramchandra Gowda sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Rani Channamma University, Belagavi. Please deliver the inaugural speech, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, madam. Very good morning to one and all. Today's keynote speaker, Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant, Association of Mutual Funds of India. Sri Raghu Vilasagaram, AGM SEBI. Professor H.Y. Kamble, Senior Most Faculty in the University and Dean Faculty of Commerce. And also today's Chairman of the webinar, Professor B.S. Navi, Chairman, Department of Commerce, Rani Channamma University, and all the participants and the colleagues in the department. So the department has organized one-day webinar, national webinar on investor awareness strategy for managing personal finance. That is an investor awareness webinar in hybrid mode, the department. I congratulate the department for organizing such a wonderful topic, because it's a hot topic since almost for 10 years. The reason why actually these mutual funds and other things are very important in the sense. See, Indians have tendency of actually tendency in savings, because we believe in savings. Suppose if you earn 10 rupees, sorry, we try to save at least 1 rupee or 2 rupees. Okay, or 10 to 20% of our total amount will be saved. So, where this savings will go, or how this saving should be utilized, because it's not that actually the people are tending towards savings for now. It is for generations. It is for generations. We are actually, the Indians mentality is like that. So we try to save at least some percentage, so that whatever the amount we saved, that should be invested in proper investments. You must be knowing in our reading in the newspapers saying that, because many people, even though the retired employees or even other investors also invest in different investments, and they burn their fingers. Even for example, they may not get good returns. Not only not even returns, even they have to forgo the investment itself. So the reason why actually they lose is they invest in bad investments, or they invest either in some societies or in some other funds or some banks or cooperative banks or some other other things, by expecting high rate of interest or high rate of dividends, etc. So they lose their investments. So therefore, to avoid all these things, okay, because people wanted to live peacefully means they invest only in recognized funds and a less what is that risk and more returns in the future. So always the investor should see that his investment should not go waste, and he should get good returns and safe investment. So that is actually the investor's interest. So therefore, the investor should find the good alternative, because there are number of what is that avenues available in the market. It may be investment in government departments or debts, RBI bonds, corporate bonds, government schemes like post office savings, PPF, NPS, Sukanya Samriddhi scheme, then security markets, etc. Even real estates, even gold, even nowadays about the cryptocurrency, etc. Even though it's illegal, so people are investing, and actually some people are benefiting and majority of them are losing. So therefore, the one of the safest or say what we can say systematic investment plan or safe investment plan is investment in mutual funds. So mutual funds are actually, if you invest in mutual funds, so the investment also attracts tax benefits also to the investor. So therefore, the people should think of alternative investment is in mutual funds, because mutual funds, even though government is actually giving a lot of importance to attract the people to invest in mutual funds by giving all the benefits of mutual funds. It may be a little bit so slow compared to other investments, but in the long run, it is safest investment. So therefore, always people nowadays, we are actually, you must be reading every day the newspaper. So instead of undergoing all this, because people who retired from the service, they invest the entire career in savings, they invest in some banks by I expect higher rates. But within 2 3 years, the bank will vanish or the investor will goes away. So they actually approach the court, they approach the government, etc. So therefore, such investment what are the options should not be always explored by the investors. So investors should see that the investment should be free from risk, at least compared to other investments, less risk and more profits, and also safe investment. So therefore, today the investor should not actually look at the real returns or not notional returns. So actually, you should think only the real returns. So therefore, as far as my knowledge is concerned, mutual funds are the best options. So that's the reason why our Department of Commerce has selected the good topic for the today's discussion, strategy for managing personal finance. Okay, particularly the big investors, okay, they manage, but the small investors, therefore, you should protect the interest of small investors. Okay, so therefore, I'm unable to continue my this thing because of my throat sore. So please continue the discussions and throw light on the investments and what are the benefits of the investment in mutual funds, and we discuss with our the future investors, so that it will be a great lesson for the investors in future, because the department is doing a wonderful job by inviting such experts in the field. So I wish the department colleagues all the best. And also, I thank the Suryakant Sharma and also Sri Raghu Vilasagaram for accepting our invitations to be part of today's webinar. I think definitely it will be a treat for the participants who are actually participated in webinar throughout India. That means the organizer was telling almost more than 1,500 participants are participating. Okay, I wish you all the best. Please discuss and get the benefit from the experts. Thank you very much. Okay, Ms. Navi.
Sir, thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your address.
Thank you.
If you don't find a way to make a money while you sleep, you will work until you die. With this quote, now may I request Shri Raghu Vilasagaran, Assistant General Manager, SEBI Securities Exchange Board of India, to deliver guest speech. Please, sir.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Looks like a lot of participants are students and the college university team. And thanks for energetic speech and introduction, Mr. Professor Navi sir, and the great introductory speech by Mr. Gowda sir. Here, I would like to say it's a large gathering, and I'm very happy. Even though I'm not good at public speaking, I'll try to give my insights about SEBI as well as the investing style, how it should be, how it should start, and what all SEBI is doing in this regard. Start with actually, it's better to meet people in person and explain things, and so that people will understand better. Though these COVID times, so we can't meet people in person, so we are all meeting in this online modes. So whatever during COVID or pre or post COVID, people interest will be like earn money, save it, and retire safely, so that life will be peaceful over after. Even during the life, house, even we want comforts like car, AC, everything, even children, education. For all these purposes, we have to earn money, save it, and use it. In this process, we try to find different avenues for investments. Like Ramchandra sir explained, we find various alternatives, various modes. Something like, for example, I'll just want to say like few examples here. Like if we want to buy a shirt, we'll see many shops, we'll visit many shops, we'll try, test whether it is fitting our body or not, we'll try everything, and then only we'll buy. Whereas when we come to this securities market related investments, we just don't see, we don't even analyze anything. Simply somebody is saying, so I'll invest. Whereas even if you want to buy a house or a piece of land, we again search, we search a lot. We try, test everything, then we buy. Whereas for securities market, that is not happening. Most of the unaware investors, they just listen to other people and they're just investing. That should not be the case. So the purpose of this entire education initiative and we are all coming here to explain and educate everybody so that people take a better and informed decision. So basically the SEBI's role here is like basically three things: to educate investors, and same time we have to develop the market and regulate it so that people should not be duped, and no fraudsters should be in the securities market. So to start with, like to begin with, investor has to like do his KYC. For example, when we go to bank, we have to give our basic details like identity proof, address proof. So to start with, even in securities market, we have to do all of these. So this is called basically a KYC, know your customer details. So earlier everything has to be like in a physical mode. Nowadays things have changed. We are not moving out. Even if we move out, it's for very limited purposes. So to start with and to encourage people, and with the use of technology, SEBI has allowed the market participants to use online KYC modes. So people, investors like you and me, just can get into securities market with a click of buttons or with the use of mobile apps. So we can do all our KYC online, and we can get into securities market. But just getting into securities market is not enough. We again have to do our own search. We have to be like diligent in that search, and we have to analyze whether that particular investment suits us, whether our savings are sufficient, or if we invest, if we lose the money, what will happen. So one has to understand everything, then only they have to come into market. For example, when we go for buying a house or land, we'll search, we'll think whether our money is sufficient or not. If we don't have money, we'll borrow. We'll go for bank. We'll go to bank and then take loans and then invest. Here, thing is like I want to explain like how mutual funds work. For example, Mr. Navi sir, if he wants to start a business, he may not have sufficient funds with him. So he'll borrow money from friends, family. Then he might even go to a bank and then start business. Thing is like, if that money is not even sufficient, whenever he borrows from somebody, he has to pay regular interest. So there is a commitment he has to regularly pay to them. Whereas the securities market provide a avenue so that Mr. Navi, if he floats a company, and if that company is working for some 5-6 years, and if it has some good credentials, then he can come to a public, he can file documents with SEBI, and he has to do a lot of other processes. So he can raise money from public. He'll raise money from public. Here the public can be either like retail investors like you and me, who generally earn something, and then we can invest if we want to. Or else there are big corporates, even big like HNIs who earn, and they are like big institutional investors. So they can invest. Even foreign investors also do invest in the companies of India also. So here, like this, even like individual investors, like companies, even mutual funds also do invest in companies, so that in a way it is contributing for that company to grow, expand. Similarly, these mutual funds, when they invest, behind the mutual fund, there will be pool of other investors. So basically, mutual funds float different schemes. They raise money from public. Since public may not have that professional expertise, or they may not even have sufficient time for understanding the company, if they invest in a mutual fund product, in turn the mutual fund will analyze and invest in different companies. Sorry, excuse me, I don't know, somebody is sharing the screen. I'm not sure who is it. So so here the mutual funds work in a pooled manner. They raise money from public and they invest in different companies. While investing, they'll have various rules and regulations, how to invest, what should be the objective, what should be the each company investment limit. There will be various rules and regulations, and they also have a responsibility to disclose continuously what is the regular price of the particular scheme unit, and they also have a responsibility to disclose like how they are functioning, what is the financial statements, and how they are valuing their investments. So there is a continuous responsibility on disclosures to investors. These are all like SEBI is working on all of these, like how to educate investors, same time how to protect their interest, so that mutual fund should not act in a different manner which is supposed to do. So in this, even Amfi has a great role. Amfi as an industry body for mutual funds, they also, on behalf of SEBI, they sometimes frame regulations, rules also on behalf of SEBI, and SEBI even delegates some certain jobs to Amfi for doing. These are all about mutual funds and Amfi. When we come to investor education, SEBI is doing a lot of initiatives, like recently last year, after finance minister announcement in budget, we have come up with the investor charter. Basically, the charter designs, and it says like what is the responsibility of the investor, what he should do, what he should not do. So before investing as a new investor, if somebody is new investor, they should definitely see that investor charter. It will give a lot of inputs. Basically, it's like you should not go to a unregistered person for trading or buying things. You can see all the registered intermediary details on SEBI website. Who is the stockbroker? Who is the investment advisor? Who are all the mutual funds registered with SEBI? So all of these details you can see in SEBI website. Even recently, SEBI has come up with one mobile application on Sarthi. Basically, it is Sathi. Oh, even it explains like what are the different avenues available, how to invest. So one can easily download that app and then see it. It will be very like helpful for the investors. And even whenever investor has any issue or complaint, it has a strong, robust system for that. One can log into a application called Scores. Even there is a website, Scores. One can get into, one can log in easily there. And if you complain about any registered intermediary, you can complain. And SEBI officials will definitely look into it and they'll act on it. So to protect their investors' interest, so SEBI is doing like education as well as grievance redressal activities. So I hope all the participants here will be benefited out of this program. And I think Suryakant sir is very good at explaining about personal finance. I think all will be benefited out of his detailed discussion on this topic. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I think Mr. Nabi might introduce or should I say like, I think next Suryakant sir will.
Yeah, sir. As per your schedule, you continue, sir.
I'm done. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your address, sir. Because you have created good awareness to our students. If they are going to start investing early age, definitely they are going to have a good amount at the old age time.
So and if you don't mind, I'll just like to share my screen once.
Yes, sir. Please.
Basically, I will show how SEBI website looks like, where one can find the SEBI registered intermediaries.
Yes, sir. This is very much useful for our students.
Whether the screen is visible?
Yeah, visible, sir. Visible.
This is the Scores website. If investor has any complaint, one can register easily here and they can lodge a complaint. And, this is one investor education related website. So if one goes to this place, they can read a lot of material about different registered intermediaries as well as different FAQs. So this is also one of the helpful website for the investors. And this is what I'm talking about. After last year finance minister announcement, SEBI has come up with this investor charter. Basically, this will give insights on like what is SEBI's vision, mission, what are the investor rights, and what are his responsibilities, what he has to do, what he should not do. So this charter also will be very helpful. One can go to Google and just search for like a SEBI investor charter. So easily they'll be able to find it. And this is recently introduced like last week only, 19th. SEBI has come up with this application, Sathi. This application is basically, it's on Android as well as iOS. This application basically give again the investor related education material. One can just put the app. You can go to this investor education website also and read market related all the information. So I just wanted to share this, and there is a particular page which shows like all the registered intermediary details. Unless one can go to SEBI registered intermediary details, so they all can see who are all the registered stockbrokers or mutual funds. So people should invest with the registered intermediaries. They should not go to anybody who is unregistered, and unnecessarily they'll lose money there. These are all the registered intermediaries with SEBI. For new investors, this is all may be confusing, but people can simply go to like mutual funds. Here one can search with mutual, and they can see like there are registered around 45-46 mutual funds are there. So easily they can search that, and then they should invest with them only. That will be safe for them, and they can save their hard-earned money. Otherwise, if people invest in like multi-level marketing, people like, there will be very many fraudsters. They simply say like, you bring one more person, you bring two more people, you will get commission regular basis. That is all fraudsters. So people should be very much aware. They should not unnecessarily get away by this overhyped or high returns. So people should read, understand, then invest. Thank you, Navisa. I'm stopping this screen share. Thanks.
Sir, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raghu sir, for creating an awareness on investment. As Navi sir also said, we have to start investing as early. And as Warren Buffett said that he has started investment at the age of 11. And he said that he has wasted his 11 years. It means we have to start investment as early as possible. Now, may I request Shri Suryakant Sharma sir, Senior Consultant, Association of Mutual Funds in India and former DGM, SEBI, to deliver his chief guest speech. Please, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Respected Vice Chancellor of the University, respected Dean of the Commerce Department, Mr. Navi, core team member of the organizers, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Raghu from SEBI, and all the participants. I am honestly, we are honored, myself and Raghu are honored to be with you. And we feel privileged that we are talking to the educated masses of the country. And you are one of the prime educational institutions of the Karnataka. And definitely such programs for which we are with you are going to create awareness among the young participants, particularly students. Because Mr. Navi, I'm told that a good number of your students have also joined this program. I can also see in the hall, a lot of people are sitting, apart from those who have joined through mobile and app, through this app. 2-3 things I wish to mention here before I start my session. Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, this program is from Association of Mutual Fund in India, but it is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual fund. It is purely an investor awareness program where we try to sensitize under the mandate of SEBI and Government of India to investors to take informed decision about their finances and how to invest, where to invest. All these things we share in a very most simplistic way and simple language. Secondly, since this program is for the from the participants, Mr. Navi, I will request your student, at least not your faculty members, but I will request your students kindly have a pen and pencil and paper with them. And if they wish, they can note down if they find any new idea in my session or Mr. Raghu's session, which I just completed. Thirdly, we will be very happy if more and more questions come from the participants, because that will be a reflections that the participants have been with us. They have some doubts about the subject. They have some queries on the subject. So we will be very happy. And after my session is over, Mr. Navi will, Dr. Navi will make it this town hall open. Anybody can just raise their hand and ask the question directly. Dr. Navi, I will just ask you, Dr. Navi, I will just ask you very simple questions, and I would be grateful if you kindly answer this question.
Sir,
What are the two main sources of money for middle class, salary class person like you and me?
Sir,
What are the two main sources of money?
Sir, for the main sources of money for the middle class people is salary. Salary is the major.
More, sir, one more is there. Of course, when you have covered, what is the other one?
That is another source is savings from their earnings.
So saving is out of your salary only, sir.
Yes, sir.
There are two main sources which Honorable Vice Chancellor has very rightly described, Mr. Ravi. The main source of money for all of us is first is salary, which we get from our employer. But apart from this source, my dear participants, there is also one of the most important source of money for all of us. That is my money makes money for me. That is the main source, sir. Professor Navi, my money should also make money for me. That is also a source. And that can be done through savings and putting our savings into investment mode. So there are two major sources of money for all of us. First is the money we earn from as a salary from our employer. And second, the money which my money earn money for me. And one more thing, Dr. Navi, I just want to ask you, what money gives us? Two main things what money gives us. Can you tell me, sir, what money gives us? I want it to be an interactive session. I don't want to do a one side flow. So
Yes,
Dr. Ravi, just tell me what are the two main purposes money serves in our life?
Sir, first thing is it helps us to lead our life, because to fulfill all our requirements, to fulfill all the needs of our life, money is the major source. Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, Dr.
Yes, yes.
Ravi, money gives us two most important things in our life. The money gives us security and money gives us prosperity. You will agree with me.
Yes, yes, sir.
Money gives us security only when we have plenty of money. And money gives us prosperity when we have money when I need it. That is simply speaking what prosperity is. That I have money when I need it. So money also gives us security, and Professor Navi, but unfortunately, security comes only when we have plenty of money. And one day, Dr. Navi will have 100 crore in his bank account. Then he will feel secure. No problem, Baba. I have money, 100 crore in my bank account. If anything happens to me, at least I can take care of that problem or issue, not only for me but also for my family. So, Professor Dr. Navi, money gives us security only when we have plenty of money. But Dr. Navi, you will agree with me that most of us wouldn't be having 100 crore in our bank account. We will have reasonable money in our bank account, but we wouldn't be having that much of money, of plenty of money. So the question first arises, how we can feel secure, how I can develop security for myself and for my family. Because Dr. Navi, security comes first before prosperity. Security should get precedence over prosperity. Because as a human being, we first think about the security, Dr. Navi. And I think we can secure, we can have security in our life by having three things in our life. And students and young faculty members, if they wish, they can note it down. These three things should be done as early as they can in their life. And these three things, I again repeat, will only develop security in your life. It might not be connected with your prosperity. The first thing is adequate life insurance cover. Every earning member must have adequate life insurance cover. Because Dr. Navi, we do have life insurance cover, but unfortunately it is a token life insurance cover only, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 50 lakhs, which is not going to serve the purpose. Because the purpose of having life insurance cover in our life is that, Dr. Navi, you know it very well, that life is pretty uncertain. I'm earning today, my family enjoying on my earning, we are all doing well, everything is okay. But what will happen tomorrow? This uncertainty always looms in our mind, always remain in my life, in my mind, and not only in my mind, Dr. Navi, but also in the mind of my family members, because they are all enjoying this life because of the salary I'm earning, very honestly speaking. If anything happens to me tomorrow, what will happen? This fear will always be there in the middle class, salary class person. And for that, we take life insurance cover, that if something happens to me, at least my family will get a reasonable amount on which they will not only take care of their regular monthly expenses, but also take care of the family obligation, education of the children, marriage of the children, and other related things. That is why we take life insurance cover, and it has to be adequate. And what is the definition of adequacy, my dear participant? Life insurance cover should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. Dr. Navi, if you have an annual income of 20 lakhs, then ideally speaking, you should have life insurance cover of not less than 2 crore rupees. So, and nowadays a very good insurance product is available, and kindly understand it very carefully and very honestly, that insurance is not an investment. Unfortunately, if Honorable Vice Chancellor is here with me, he will agree with me that unfortunately on a country, insurance is being sold as an investment product, which it is not. Insurance only gives a strength to me and my family, that in case something happens to me, my family will get an amount on which they can survive. At least there will be least financial stress in their life. So life insurance cover is a must. And the best product available nowadays in the market is term insurance, TERM, term insurance, which was not available in my times. But nowadays, Dr. Navi, it is available. And those who are young, kindly read about the term insurance and kindly take adequate life insurance cover in their life as early as they can. And life insurance cover premium is directly related to your age. So early you take, lesser will be the premium. This is the second thing. Now, the second thing which we should develop for our security, Dr. Navi, is adequate health insurance cover. Dr. Navi, unfortunately, most of the people get confused, because once they have taken life insurance cover, why they should take health insurance cover? But my dear participant, kindly understand it very carefully, that health insurance is totally different one and life insurance cover is different. Both serve different purposes in our life. Health insurance serve the purpose in our life that in case medical emergency arises in my life, or or any member of the family, and because of that medical emergency, that might be because of an ailment or some accident, we will definitely go to the best hospital. We will rush to the best hospital, we will try to get the best treatment and come home. But if you go to the private hospital, and Dr. Navi, you know, unfortunately, the governmental health system is not up to mark. So we will be forced to go to the private hospitals, but there they charge exorbitantly. That is why, in case we go to the private hospitals, and if we remain in the private hospital for 10 days or 15 days, they might raise a bill of more than 10 lakhs. That is why health insurance cover is a must. I don't know whether your university is giving you health insurance cover and how much it is giving, but in normal courses, it is not adequate. That is why I am requesting all the participants kindly consider having independent health insurance cover, not only for you but for your family. And nowadays, a very good health insurance cover policy is available, that is called floater policy, FLOATER, floater health insurance cover or umbrella health insurance cover. The uniqueness of this scheme is policy is that in one singular policy, not only you yourself cover yourself, you also can include and should include name of your spouse, name of your children, and even your parents in that policy. So in the singular policy, all members of the family are covered. And in case any medical emergency arises with any member of the family, they can avail the benefit of that health insurance cover, go to the best hospital, get the best treatment, and they will not be required to pay a single penny. All the bill of the hospital will be directly settled by the insurance company to the hospital. That is the purpose and benefit of having health insurance cover. The third thing about security, Dr. Navi, is that every family must have an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakh with them. Dr. Navi, this corona is still there, it has not gone. It may continue for years, as some scientists are predicting. Or some new virus may come in. Or in future, Mr. Umar Farooq, some emergency may come in our life. And for that, you are very lucky, Dr. Navi, that your jobs continued during pandemic. You continue to get salary, but at the same time, Dr. Navi, we all know lakhs of people had lost their job. Lakhs of people have got substantial reduction in their income. Businesses were closed, professions were closed. So lakhs of people have passed through a very tough time, and this may happen again in future. So my request to all the participants, kindly develop an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs. For what purpose? The purpose it will serve is that in case some financial stress come in my life in future, at least I can manage my family affairs for the next 9 months or 1 year with this emergency fund. That is the purpose of developing a house emergency fund. And of course, you will agree with me that 5-7 lakhs is not a small amount for all of us. So we can develop it over a period of time, maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years, maybe 5 years. But once it is developed, we have to make a promise with ourselves that we will never use this emergency fund for any other purpose except for the emergency in my family. This promise and commitment we have to make it. So these 3 things, I again repeat to all participants, will give you mental and financial security. The first is adequate life insurance cover. Second is adequate health insurance cover. And the third one is emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs. Now I come to the next aspect of the money, that is prosperity. Dr. Navi, we all know that the main source of our money is our salary. And what we do with our salary? A majority of our salary goes into taking care of our regular expenses, monthly expenses. But as Honorable Vice Chancellor has mentioned, and Dr. Navi also mentioned in her introduction, that Indians have got a unique habit, Dr. Navi. And that, what is that? That is indeed unique. That habit is in our DNA. We all have that habit. What is that? That we sincerely try not to spend all money which we earn. Every earner, maybe he's earning 10,000 or maybe he's earning 10 lakhs. And students will also understand that every earner sincerely and seriously try to take away some money out of their income, which he or she doesn't spend. And the money which we don't spend, my dear Navi, out of our income, what we call it? We call it savings, bachat. And we are all savers. We all save the money. If, we might be saving 1,000 or we might be saving 1 lakh. It makes no difference. But we sincerely try to save the money out of your regular income. 2 things I wish to request to the participants about the saving. Very simple things, but very important things. First is, kindly identify an amount of saving which you can comfortably save. Normally, we are casual about saving, Dr. Navi. We do save, but what I do, this month I am saving 10,000, next month it might be 8,000, third month it might be 15,000, and fourth month it might be even 0. So my request is kindly identify an amount of saving which you can save. And that I leave it to you. I am not prescribing 20% saving, 30% saving, 40% saving. I am leaving it to you, but it should be as much as you can. So once you have identified, suppose your income is 50,000 and you say my monthly expenses are 40,000. So what you are indirectly saving is that you can save 10,000. Then my request is very simple but emphatic. Kindly save this 10,000 upfront. First you save 10,000. First you take away 10,000, and then whatever remains with you, manage with your monthly expenses. This commitment and discipline has to be developed. We must save this amount come what may every month. And Dr. Navi, of course, it is a tough task, but it is not an impossible task. We can do it provided we have commitment, provided we have developed disciplines. So kindly identify an amount and save this amount religiously every month, come what may. The second request about saving is kindly keep increasing your saving minimum by 10% every year. Minimum by 10%. And again, it is possible, Dr. Navi, because we get increment, we get DNS allowance increase, we get increase in some allowances, we get new allowances, or in between we also get promotion. So our income keep increasing every year. With the increase in income, we must increase our saving every year. And it should be minimum 10%. Suppose this year you are saving 10,000, next year it should be 11,000 a month. And third year it should be 12,000 a month. It should be like, saving should be multiplied like this only. So 2 things about saving, I again repeat, identify amount of saving and then keep increasing saving amount minimum by 10%. Mr. Navi, these 2 things might look very damn easy and simple, but this is the most important foundation stone of your prosperity, I tell you. So kindly consider these 2 things with regard to saving. When you start earning, I'm telling it to students, and those who are already earning, kindly think what they are doing today and what they should do tomorrow. Now the question arises, of course, we are saving and we are savers. We are saving some amount, identified amount from our salary. What we do with our saving, Dr. Navi? Can you tell me what we do with our savings? There are 2 options, Dr. Navi. One option is, which a fool like me can do, is that, of course, I am saving from my salary, whatever I am earning. But why nonsense I am doing is, I am taking away the money from my bank account where I get the salary and putting that saving amount at my home every month. Religiously, I am doing. Or just leaving that amount in my bank account. If any participant is doing, and if students should also understand it very carefully. If any of us is doing something, it is a suicidal act. It is a gross injustice, not only to us, to me, to my family, and to my country as a whole. Kindly never do this. Because the purpose of saving itself is defeated if you keep saving at your home or you just leave it in your bank account. Then naturally the question will be what we should do. We should put our savings, number 1, into acquisition of some assets, value which will increase in future. Or number 2, in some financial instrument which will give us periodical and regular return in future. I again repeat, putting our saving into some assets, acquisition of some assets, or in some financial instrument, Mr. Ravi, we technically called it investment. So when we put our savings into some assets or in some financial instrument, it is called investments. And normally we are all investors with Dr. Navi. Whoever is earning, naturally putting his or her income in one or other instrument. So we are all investors. That is also there. We all are investors. Those who are savers are investors. So kindly understand, the foundation pillar of your prosperity start from the saving, and the second step is your investment. So you should not stop at the savings, but also you put your savings into investment mode, because savings and putting savings into investment is going to create wealth for you, and wealth will give you prosperity. So this is a chain which we are developing, right from saving to wealth creation. So we are all investors. But Dr. Ravi, I don't know whether you will agree with me or not, and whether the other faculty members or esteemed faculty members of your university will agree with me or not. But unfortunately, it is a fact that most of the middle class person, Mr. Uma Farooq, most of the middle class, salary class person, despite their sincere efforts in saving and investment, they are saving and they are investing, they just remain money accumulators, my dear friend. Unfortunately, Dr. Navi, most of us just remain money accumulators. We don't become wealth creators, whereas the precondition for prosperity is your wealth creation. So if we are not creating wealth, we will not be prosper. It is a resultant effect of wealth creation that we become prosper. But unfortunately, again I repeat, most of us are not wealth creators, we are sheer money accumulators. And top of it, Dr. Navi, as Honorable Vice Chancellor has mentioned, top of it, we don't accept it. Everybody says, no, I'm the master of managing my money. I'm managing my money well. Everybody thinks, people even don't want to listen about the personal finance, because they feel that if somebody is speaking to them about the personal finance, he or she must have some vested interest. Either he will be selling some investment product, or he's a commission agent or some distributor. That is the back of mind, this feeling is without. That is why we don't want to listen others about the personal finance. And that is a unfortunate part of us. So my dear friends, unfortunately, most of the middle class, salary class person, despite their sincere efforts in saving and investment, just remain money accumulators. They don't become wealth creators. And now I'm coming to the point, before going ahead, I will just try to make you understand the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. And Dr. Navi, I will get your permission to take your name in this example. I'm sharing you one very simple example of bank FD. Dr. Navi, would you kindly permit me?
Sir, please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. So Dr. Navi has given me permission for taking his name in this example. The example is very simple, Dr. Navi. Example is of bank FD, fixed deposit. Suppose Dr. Navi has got 1 lakh rupees with him, and he 1 lakh rupees with him, and he goes with a 1 year bank FD with a good bank. And Dr. Navi, as you are aware, the present rate of interest is around 6%. So you go for the 1 year bank FD with a good bank. After 1 year, when I meet you and just ask you, Dr. Navi, what happened to your bank FD? Dr. Navi is smiling, he is happy. He says, Mr. Sharma, I have got 6,000 rupees as bank interest and my money has been given back by the bank. Am I happy? I got 6,000 as return on my investment as FD. Am I right, Dr. Navi? Your answer will be like this only?
Yes, sir, because I am a traditional investor.
Exactly. You got your point. So Dr. Navi is very happy because he got 6,000 as bank interest. But Dr. Navi, You are not right. Of course, you got 6,000 rupees, but that was a sheer notional return as mentioned by Honorable Vice Chancellor in her inaugural speech. 6,000 is your notional return. And unfortunately, most of us are satisfied with the notional return. But while analyzing return on investment, we normally ignore two very important factors. The first and foremost important factor is inflation. Navi sahab, mehengai. We talk about the inflation right day in, day out. Even in staff room, the hot discussion nowadays is inflation only. अरे बाबा पैसा महंगाई बहुत बढ़ रहा है, हर चीज का दाम बढ़ रहा है, महंगाई बढ़ रहा है. We talk each other when we meet each other. Even at home, Dr. Navi, while starting from university today, must have scolded their children. अरे भाई जरा खर्चा कम करो, महंगाई बहुत बढ़ रहा है. So we are talking about the inflation, but unfortunately we ignore while analyzing return on our investment. And what is inflation, Dr. Navi? Simply speaking, inflation is nothing but the increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. Am I right, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. Suppose during 1 year when Dr. Navi had a bank FD, inflation rate has been 5%. What does it mean? It simply means that last year when when Dr. Navi was going for bank FD, whatever he could have purchased from 1 lakh rupees or could have availed some services from 1 lakh rupees, after 1 year, he will need to spend not 1 lakh rupees, Dr. Navi, because that items or goods or services will not be available to you at 1 lakh rupees. But you will need to spend 1,05,000 rupees. Am I right, sir? Because the inflation rate has been 5%. So after 1 year, Dr. Navi will need to spend for the same item, same goods and same services, not 1 lakh rupees, but 1,05,000. Am I right, sir? 1,05,000 rupees.
Correct, sir.
Now you see the proposition, Dr. Navi, you are very happy when you got 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. But in actuality, in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 had been eaten by the inflation. But Dr. Navi is still happy. He says, sir, I still have 1,000 remain with me. Yes, sir, it is with you, Dr. Navi. But again, one more factor is there we normally ignore. That is taxability. Government of India get income tax on most of the income and returns. And in the case of bank FD, the rule is very simple. Whatever you earn as bank interest income will need to be included in your income tax return as income. And you will need to pay income tax on it as per your slab. Suppose you are in 20% bracket, Dr. Navi, then on 6,000, you will need to pay 20,000. Oh, 20% income tax, that is 1,200 of 6,000. Dr. Navi, in my time at least, such income will hardly be reflected in our income tax return because we knew it very well. Arey baba, kaun income tax wala mere ghar pe lene aa raha income tax ko chodo na. But nowadays, Dr. Navi, you know it very well, because of technology, all such information is automatically available with the income tax department. So if we play smart and don't reflect this income in our income tax return, Dr. Navi, there is chances that you might get a notice from income tax department. Dr. Navi, you had earned 6,000 rupees at bank interest income, on which you need to give 20% income tax return, which you didn't include in your income tax return. Now give us income tax of 20%, that 1,200, and pay penalty also. So you see the proposition, Dr. Navi, you were very happy when you earned 6,000 rupees, but that was a notional return. That was not real return, Dr. Navi. In this case, you got nothing. Out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation, and 1,200 rupees you paid as income tax. Rather, truly speaking, Dr. Navi, out of you have 200 rupees has gone out of your pocket. You got nothing rather. So 6,000 is your notional return, and there is no real return as mentioned by Honorable Vice Chancellor in his inaugural speech. So we have to earn real return on our investment. This is the crux of the story. This is the crux of your investment success. And unless we earn real return on our investment, the purpose of saving and investment will automatically be defeated. There will be no purpose at all. There will be no benefit at all. So my dear participants, the most important thing here is we must earn real return on our investment. And the formula of real return is very simple, and Dr. Navi knows it very well. Real return equal to notional return minus inflation minus tax liability. I take it forward, this example, suppose the interest rate is 8% and inflation rate is 5%. Again, out of 8,000, 5,000 will be eaten by the inflation, and 20% of 8,000, that is 1,600, Dr. Navi will need to pay as income tax. But even after that, there remains 1,400. And Dr. Navi, that 1,400 is your real income. Kindly understand it very carefully, my dear participants. This 1,400 is going to create wealth for you. So we should very sincerely try that we earn real return on our investment. And the formula, again, I repeat, real return equal to notional return, then minus inflation, minus tax liability. Now the next question arises, Dr. Navi, we are all smart, we are all educated. Then why we remain money accumulators? This is a very valid question we should ask to ourselves. And what is the reason? Why most of us just remain money accumulators? As I just explained to you, why we don't become wealth creators? There must be some reason. Yes, my dear participant, there is reason, and that reason is not outside somewhere else. The reason lies in our mind. As Honorable Vice Chancellor mentioned, the reason lies in our mind. And what is the reason, Dr. Navi? I think you must be aware. Reason is that we don't want to take risk. Arey Baba, risk ki baat mat karo. Or as mentioned, a word was specifically mentioned by Honorable Vice Chancellor, safe investment. We all think about the safe investment only, underlining the word only. But unfortunately, Dr. Navi, whether you will agree with me or not, the fact of the situation is that investment has got risk. Risk is inbuilt in most of the investment product. Only some governmental saving schemes are there, which we will discuss afterwards, which don't have risk, but most of the investment have got risk. So kindly first understand that risk is there in most of the investment, and the word safe investment, I feel, is an illusion only. Accept some government. So risk is there. We have to accept that risk is there in investment, because once you accept, then naturally you will try to manage the risk, to minimize the risk. So first we should accept that risk is there in the investment. But at the same time, we should sincerely try to manage the risk or minimize the risk. And that is possible, my dear participants. We can manage your risk, we can minimize your risk, but my risk can't be zero. Kindly understand it very carefully. There will always be some degree of risk in most of the investment product. Again, except some governmental saving scheme, which I need not repeat again and again. In governmental saving scheme, risk is not there, but apart from governmental saving scheme, all other investment products have got risk. So risk is there, we have to accept it, but then after that, we should sincerely try to manage your risk and to minimize your risk. And how it can be done? Yes, my dear Ravi, it can be done, Dr. Navi, it can be possible, it can be done, my dear participants. I just sharing a very simple two-word formula to you. Very simple two-word formula. You might laugh at me, what nonsense I'm telling to you, but very simple two-word formula. But this formula is very, very important in your investment success. Kindly minded. Those students can note it down, this formula, if they wish to note it down. But just noting it down on the paper or notebook is not going to serve the purpose, my dear participant. You have to practice this formula in your life, in your investment decisions. And what that formula is, Dr. Navi? First, I will speak in Hindi and then in English. सोच कर समझ कर निवेश कर. Think, understand, and invest. Very simple formula, two-word formula. Think, understand, and invest. The first word I have used here, Dr. Navi, is think. What we have to think? We have to think two things about ourselves. The first is my risk appetite. What is my risk appetite? I have to take all my decision as per my risk appetite only. And Dr. Navi, every individual has got different risk appetite. So kindly never follow others when they are investing somewhere, because their risk appetite might be different. Because how risk appetite is different? My income is different. My family liabilities are different. My family obligations are different. My social upbringing is different. My born and brought up, everything is different. So every individual has got different risk appetite. So kindly you should take your investment decision as per your risk appetite only. Secondly, second thing is time horizon of investment. That is equally important, because normally, Dr. Navi, what happens? Most of us invest the money without looking at the aspect of time horizon. But time horizon is very important, because Dr. Navi, we will need money in our life, not in one go, but at different intervals. That is why I again repeated, time horizon of investment is equally important. Two things we have to look about, sir: risk appetite and time horizon of investment. Both things are very, very important. I don't have time, otherwise I could have elaborated much on the how the time horizon investment and risk appetite is important. But kindly understand that, kindly take your investment decision as per your risk appetite and your time horizon of investment. And for time horizon of investment, I will just give you a small exercise to the young participant like Dr. Navi and those who are young below 40. I will just request them, kindly spare 1 hour for me next Sunday. And rest assured, I am not coming to their home. What my request is, kindly request your all family members to be with you on next Sunday at a specified time. Sit with them, have a paper and pen, pencil. On the paper, make 3 columns: first column, second column, and third column. In the first column, Dr. Navi, you just jot down the milestones in your life. And normally speaking, what are the common milestones in our life? The common milestone in our life is mostly, first milestone is marriage. This is one of the major milestones in our life. Then after marriage, education or admission of children in a good public school after birth. Then vacation has also become a milestone nowadays, Dr. Navi. Every family wants to go on vacation periodically. Then purchase of a house for the family if you have not got so far. Then purchase of the 4-wheeler if you have not got so far. Then after some time, your children are grown up. Higher education and professional education is one of the most important milestones in our life. Once their education is complete, then marriage of the children is again the next important milestone. And the last milestone, Dr. Navi, is our retirement life. That is also very important milestone, because now typically what happens, Dr. Navi, government, even central government and the state government has stopped pension. And in private sector also, there was no pension even earlier. So how we survive during our retirement life? Because in that phase of life, we wouldn't be having regular income from salary at least. So these are the common milestones. Kindly note it down. And you want to add any milestone, kindly note it down. And in the first column, kindly note it down all the milestones in your life. In the second column, against each milestone, kindly put the period when they are likely to happen. Again, an idea only, an estimate only. Suppose somebody says that I am not married and I am likely to be married after 2 years, put it 2 years. Likewise, again, marriage after 2 years, naturally the birth of the children around 3.5 years. Then admission of the children around 6 or 6.5 years. Then purchase of a house, vacation, all these things you just put the period an estimate only against each milestone. In the third column, my dear participants, you put the amount or the money you will need for each milestone. Suppose somebody said that I am not married and I am likely to be married after 2 years. and all marriage expenses will be taken care of by my parents, but still honeymoon expenses will have to be borne by me. And honeymoon package will come around 5 lakhs. Okay, you put it 5 lakhs against marriage. But one more thing is there, Dr. Navi. Today you are thinking the honeymoon package will be 5 lakhs, but after 2 years when it actually happens, you know, because of inflation, it might go up to 5.50 lakhs. So kindly factor in inflation while putting the money. Likewise, against each milestone, you put the money which you will need. Again, idea only. Precisely, of course, it can't be done. Just an idea and put it. 2 milestones I am specifically mentioning to you because these are very important things to understand. The higher education, Dr. Navi, higher education and professional education of children is one of the most important milestones in our life. Dr. Navi, a good MBA degree from a reputed institute today costs around 20 lakhs. Am I right, sir? Around 20 lakhs. For 2-year MBA degree, it costs around 20 lakhs. Dr. Navi, can you imagine what it will cost after 25 years? If you are 30 years today, your children are not born on or 1 or 2 years old only. Can you just imagine what MBA degree will cost after 20-25 years? The degree which costs around 20 lakhs today, Dr. Navi, will cost not less than 2 crore rupees after 25 years. So for every children, for higher education, you will need to spend 2 crore rupees. And if you perchance you have got 2 children, then it will be not less than 4 crore rupees for both the children. So 4 crore rupees only for the higher education and professional education of children. And then once their education is over, naturally for marriage, again, you will need not less than 1 crore rupees. This tag will increase because of inflation. We all know. Last milestone is pension, retirement life. And normally how we live in retirement life, Dr. Navi, what we typically happens, what we do, we accumulate the money for retirement life. When we retire or when we get some retirement benefit as well, we club all those money and put that money into some investment or some deposit. Get some regular return on it. And on that regular return, normally we survive. This is normal case of most of the middle class, salary class person. So in retirement life, our main source of income just become the interest or income on the corpus which we have developed for retirement. So how much corpus we should develop? This is a very important question we should ask. How much corpus we should develop? A thumb rule is there, my dear friends. And before that, I just ask you one question. Suppose, Dr. Navi, you say you are 30 today and you say that your monthly expenses are around 30,000. You are managing your monthly affairs with 30,000. Can you just imagine, sir, when you become 60 after 30 years, how much money you will need every month to manage your affairs at the same level of comfort, same standard of living, no extravaganza. Can you imagine, sir? You are managing your affairs when you are 30 today at 30,000. After 30 years, when you become 60, sir, you will need not less than 2 lakh rupees per month. You will need not less than 2 lakh rupees per month for the same level of comfort. Because of inflation, because of rise in prices, you will need 2 lakh rupees per month. So it will be around 25 lakhs per annum at the age of 60 itself. 25 lakhs per annum, sir. Then how much corpus you should develop? Because ultimately a return or interest should be around 25 lakhs on your corpus. So how much corpus you should develop, sir? A thumb rule is there. Retirement corpus should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. I again repeat, it should be around 20 times of your annual expenses. What are your annual expenses at that time, sir? 25 lakhs. Multiply it by 20. What it becomes? 5 crore rupees. My dear participants, those who are 30 today should think of developing retirement corpus of not less than 5 crore. 5 crore is the minimum amount. Ideally, it should be 30 times, around 7.50 lakhs for 8 crore. Retirement corpus is around 5-6 crores. Put it 5 crore even. Now make the total of the third column, my dear friends. And Dr. Navi, you might get scary. Arey Baba, sir, aap kya hame dara rahe hain aap ye? I want you to be scary. मैं चाहता हूं आप डरें. I want all participants to be scary because it is a fact of our life. We will, a normal middle class, salary class person who is around 30 today, Dr. Navi will need for his milestone or her milestone only not less than 10 to 12 crore rupees. From where that money will come, my dear friends? Understand it. From where that money will come? Dr. Navi might be very lucky going to KBC Amitabh Bachchan show, winning 7 crore rupees. But that's how many of us accept Navi will, Dr. Navi will win this? No. 1 out of 20 lakh, 30 lakh, 50 lakhs. So all others, we have to work very hard for having that money in our life. And Mr. Umar Farooq, I can tell you, you can have it. Now I am giving confidence to all of you, not you, every participant, those who are around 30, all you can have it. Provided you are sincerely start working on saving aspect, save as much as you can right from today, and putting your saving into the best investment product, earning real return, creating wealth. And Dr. Navi, the chart which we have just prepared, Mr. Umar Farooq, the chart which we have just prepared, first column, second column, and third column, what we call it? We call it financial plan. We call it financial plan. And my dear friends, every earner must have financial plan. This is my request to all of you, and it is not a rocket science. It is damn easy, Mr. Umar Farooq. Next Sunday, you sit with your family and discuss what I just mentioned to you. Every family must have financial plan. Why? Because financial plan will give you the precise picture what money you need at what time. So the picture is very clear before you. Vision is very clear before you. Purpose is very clear before you. And my dear participant, Dr. Navi knows it very well. Psychology says that those individuals who have precise target or purpose in their life, it is most likely that they will achieve it. That is why the importance of financial plan. So I will request all the participants, kindly have financial plan, and it is not a rocket science. Every individual, every family can have it. So second thing I was mentioning is time horizon of investment. We have to think. Now the second word was understand. We have to understand very carefully what is the product where we are investing, whether the risk of the product broadly matches with my risk appetite, whether the return periodicity broadly matches with my time horizon of investment. If that broadly matches, only then I should invest. Otherwise, I should leave that product. Think, understand, and invest. This is a golden rule for our investment success. Last thing I wish to request to all of you regarding this first segment of my session is rule of compounding. Dr. Navi, rule of compounding is 8th wonder of the world. It is 8th wonder of the world, and it is more so in the case of investment success. And what is rule of compounding? Simply speaking, in investment success, sir, you have to make a promise and commitment with yourselves. Only one simple but tough commitment. What is that? Whenever I get some return or income on my investment, I will never use that return or income for my family affairs, for my vacation, for my family obligation, nothing. What I will do simply, I will club that return or income with my regular investment and reinvest it. Simply speaking, we should never use the return or income, may it be 10,000, may it be 10 lakhs. We should never use our return on investment for our personal affairs, personal obligation. We should continue to club that return or income whenever we get it with our regular investment and put it into investment mode. If we do so, my dear friends, I can promise you down the line after 15, 20 years, you will be happily surprised that your return or income portion has become much greater than your original investment. But my dear friends, it will not happen today. It will not happen tomorrow. It will happen after 15, 20 years. So kindly follow rule of compounding very, very religiously in your investment. It is a must for your wealth creation. So this was the first segment of my session. Second segment will be very small, Dr. Navi. I will hardly take 10-15 minutes more to discuss about the products which are available for the middle class, salary class person. What are the investment options available for the middle class, salary class? Because that is equally important. But before that, I just want to request one thing to you. Kindly develop a basket of investment. Don't put your all money in one investment product only. Kindly develop a basket of investment. Put your money in different investment aspects, because that will give you the risk management. It is a part of risk management. So you are spreading your risk from one product to another. If some product got high risk, other product might be having lower risk or moderate risk. So try to develop a basket of investment of an investment. Now I'm sharing where we can invest. The first product which is available for middle class, salary class person is it is a gamut of, it is a basket of investment, that is governmental saving scheme. Dr. Navi, governmental saving is, there are a lot of governmental saving scheme available for the middle class, salary class person. And I personally feel that we must invest some of our investment into governmental saving scheme. The first is public provident fund. Dr. Navi, if you have not started a public provident account, you have lacked something. Every middle class, salary class person, I personally feel, must have a public provident fund account. It is a unique government of India scheme. It is triple scheme, exempt, no tax at any level. And the public provident fund account is different of EPF, which you might be having in your employer office. Public provident fund account can be opened in any bank or any post office. And preferably, you should open this account with the bank where you are having your bank account, SB account. Public provident account can be opened by any person, maybe of above 18 years. Even guardian, my PPF can be opened in the name of guardian as well, of a minor as well. The public provident account is for 15 years. It is a scheme for 15 years. The minimum amount you should deposit in a year is 500 rupees, and the maximum amount you can deposit in this account is 1.50 lakhs. And after 15 years, even if you want to continue, you can continue it for next 5 years, and another next 5 years. So, and ideally speaking, you should not stop this account unless and until you need money. So PPF account is a very good scheme. Government of India is still giving 7.10% interest, which is compounding every year. And ideally speaking, if possible, kindly deposit 1.50 lakhs, which is the maximum limit in PPF, in the beginning of the financial year, that is in the month of April itself, because that will give you interest for the whole year. But if it is not possible for you, kindly deposit amount monthly or periodically, but it should be before 5th of every month. Because if you deposit after 5th of that month, you will not be getting interest for that month. So these are very small things. So you kindly understand, PPF account is one of the most important things. Then I don't have time to give details of each scheme. I will just mention names. National Saving Scheme. National Saving Scheme, NSS, then Kisan Vikas Patra, then post office and banks have also got lot of governmental saving schemes. Then, as Honorable Vice Chancellor mentioned, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana for the girl child. If you have a girl child at your home whose age is below 10, and if you have got 2 girl childs, maximum limit is 2 girl account. This can be opened for 2 girl child in a family. You must have Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana for those girl child in their name. It is a very good scheme, and Government of India has promised that they will give you maximum return. Even today it is 7.60%, which is highest. And income tax deduction is also allowed for PPF and for Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana and under Section 80C. Then Government of India securities. Government of India also keep taking loan from the public through sale of their securities. You can invest that securities. And last month only, Honorable Prime Minister has started a portal, RBI Retail Central, where we can regularly and periodically invest in government securities. You kindly visit the RBI Retail Central website and get the details and get yourself registered if you wish to invest. Then RBI also issued bonds to the public, tax-free bonds and taxable bonds. You can invest in it. Then Government of India has also started Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. It is a Government of India facility provided for the public sector undertakings to raise loan through under this bond. So you can invest in Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. All these schemes and many more schemes of Government of India has got a unique and distinct feature, my dear friends, and that is it has got no risk. No risk at all. Whatever Government of India is promising us, Government of India will give us back. And when the scheme matures, the government will give back your money with the return or income or interest, whatever it may be. So, and I personally feel, Dr. Navi, a normal middle class, salary class person should invest not less than 15 to 20% of their investment into governmental scheme. Then second, after that, every other investment option have got risk, kindly minded. All other have got risk. Second option is real estate or property. You can invest your savings into real estate and property. But there is a risk. How much appreciation will be there? Nobody knows. Whether you will be able to sell the property when you wish it, not certain. It is commonly called as illiquid asset because it takes time to sell the property. Then in property, you need huge investment. You can't invest in property in 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs. You will need 50 lakhs, 20 lakhs, or rather more than that. But investment option is there. How much you want to invest? I'm not giving you any prescription. Dr. Navi is an expert in property and real estate. Next time he can take a session for the staff members. After that, gold is also an option where we can invest. And I can't see the face of the female participants, but when I start speaking about the gold, the faces of the female participants have got different shine. They say, oh, gold, no problem. Because historically, Dr. Navi, gold has been an investment option for the middle class, salary class person, and we term it at our safety valve. It is a safety valve for the middle class, salary class person. And we invest in gold through jewelry or biscuits, that is in physical form. But in physical form, Dr. Navi, if you invest, there are 2 drawbacks. One is that if you keep gold at home, you wouldn't be having sound sleep. Or if you keep it in locker, bank will charge annual charges on locker charges. But nowadays, other option is also available in gold investment, that is digital gold. You can invest in gold through digital form. And nowadays, Dr. Navi and all the participants kindly note it down. A very good scheme is there of the Government of India, which is available nowadays. That is called Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Very good scheme of the Government of India, where you can invest online and offline. Even some discount is allowed online. And minimum investment you can make is 1 gram gold price present price, and maximum is 4 kg. The scheme is for 8 years. Government is giving you guarantee or giving you 2.5% interest on your investment in this scheme. And apart from that, whatever appreciation of the gold price is there, it will also be shared with you. It will also be given. So there are two benefits of this scheme. One is 2.5% guaranteed return plus appreciation in the gold prices will also be given to you. So it is a very good scheme you can consider. And I feel personally that a normal middle class, salary class person should have around 5 to 7% of their investment in gold. Traditionally, we are investing in gold, but nowadays digital gold facility is also available, and we can invest up to 5 to 7% in gold. It is my personal opinion. Then last option available for all of us is security market, share bazaar, where we can invest. But Dr. Navi, when I start about the share market, 2-3 chat box messages will be there. Are sir, don't talk about share market. It is a satta bajari. It is a share speculation. People don't know, but they still invest, and sometimes they lose the money. Yes, it is there. It might be a case. Because, my dear participant, kindly understand it very carefully. Dr. Navi is a commerce professor. He knows much better than me that share market is purely knowledge-based market. And those who don't have knowledge of the share market, I personally feel must not invest in the share market, at least directly. Never never invest your money invest your saving into share market unless and until you have knowledge of market, because it has got risk. But my dear friend, where risk is not there, in gold also risk is there, in property risk is there, so risk is there. But in share market, don't invest unless and until you have knowledge of the market. At least directly you should not invest. There are 3 ways through which we can invest in share market. One is primary market, where we directly subscribe to the shares or debenture offered by the public. Second is secondary market, where we can go and purchase share of any listed company, of course, through some mechanism. I don't have time, Dr. Navi, but next time, if you give me time, I will be happy to take a technical session on security market, technical aspects of the security market for your students, that we can take separately. Third option is indirect investment in security market, that is mutual fund. And nowadays, my dear friends, most of the young person particularly are very keen to know about the mutual fund. The concept of mutual fund is very clear. But before that, I wish to make it very clear that mutual fund is an investment product duly regulated by SEBI. Rest assured, it is not a Ponzi fund. It is not a committee. It is not a hanky-panky scheme. It is a mutual fund is a product strongly regulated by SEBI. Every aspect of the mutual fund manager, mutual fund companies are being looked into and supervised and regulated by SEBI. So rest assured, of course, no guarantee is there in the mutual fund return. Mind it. If somebody gives you guarantee, he is befalling you. No, it is not a factual position. But at the same time, it is strongly regulated by SEBI. Mutual fund is nothing, my dear friends. It is just giving your money to some experts. You are not directly investing in the security market. You are indirectly, what you are doing, you are giving your money to the experts and advising them to request your money, to invest your money as per their experience, as per their expertise, as per their wisdom, because they are experts of the market. They know about the market. They have got experience of the market. They live in the market 24 hours. That is why it is more likely that their decision might be much more beneficial as compared to us. That is why we are giving our money to them. But one-minded, mutual fund is not limited to security market only. Unfortunately, people do have perception that mutual fund is security market. No. There are schemes in the mutual fund, my dear Dr. Navi. where your money will be invested into government securities. There are schemes in the mutual fund, my dear participants, where your money will be invested into real estate. There are schemes in the mutual fund, my dear friends, where your money will be invested into gold schemes. And there are schemes in the mutual fund, my dear participant, where your money will be invested into international corporates, Amazon, Facebook, Google. There are hundreds of big corporates, internationally famous corporates, and you can invest in such big corporates sitting at your place through mutual fund. So mutual fund is not security market only, but of course it is a fact that majority of the mutual fund scheme relate to security market. There are two major categories of security market, of mutual fund scheme in security market. One is equity fund and other is debt fund. In equity fund, my dear participant, you must understand that your money will be invested into the equity shares of the corporates or related instrument. And you are well aware that your money, when you invest your money in equity shares, prices of which always keep going up and down every day. Tomorrow it was down, today it might be up, day after it again be down. So the moment of the market is the basic character of the market. Always prices will go up and down. Always, it will always happen. Of course, because of lot of factors, external and internal, lot of other things, that is a different story. We can't discuss at this, but market movement will always be there. So in equity fund, when you are investing into equity fund, you are taking relatively greater risk, but the probability of getting higher return is also there. Mind it, probability of getting higher return, no guarantee. And those who are young and those who have a horizon of more than 5 years to investment, the preferred investment option is investment into equity fund. Risk is greater, and those who can take risk, mind it, those who don't want to take risk should not invest in equity fund, because risk is relatively greater, relatively higher. So in equity fund, there are a lot of categories. I don't have time to mention here, but again, if Dr. Navi permits me, next time we will have a dedicated session on mutual fund where we will discuss in detail each and every aspect of the mutual fund. So equity fund is suitable for the young investors who have got a longer horizon and who is in a position to take relatively higher risk. But second category is also there, that is debt fund. In debt fund, my dear friends, your money will be given as a loan to the corporate. Kindly mind it and understand very carefully. In equity fund, your savings will be invested into the equity share of the listed corporates, and prices of which will always go up and down. In a debt fund, your money will be given as a loan to the corporate, and when your money is given loan to the corporate, the return is relatively reasonable and predictable, relatively predictable. Of course, depending upon a lot of other aspects, but risk is less. So those who don't want to take high risk, those who have a very short horizon of investment, maybe 1 week, maybe 1 month, maybe 6 months, maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, they can go for the debt fund. For debt fund and equity fund, both categories of funds are available to the investors, and you can invest according to your risk appetite and according to a time horizon of investment. Then there are two plans for mutual fund investment. One is direct plan, other is regular plan. In direct plan, you are directly visiting the website of the mutual fund company, selecting the scheme, giving the information online, and you are invested, giving all the details. In regular plan, you have to take the help of mutual fund distributors duly registered with Amfi. They will come to you. They will help you in filling the form. They will take documents from you. They will take check from you, first check from you, and they will deposit it to the mutual fund company, and they will help you out in making your investment operational. But of course, for all these services, they will get some commission or fees. So direct plan return will always be higher as compared to regular plan in the same scheme. In the same scheme even. Suppose you are investing some equity scheme, direct plan will definitely have relatively higher return as compared to regular plan, because in regular plan, some portion of your return or investment is going as a fee or commission to the agent. In mutual fund, the best way of investment for the middle class, salary class person, my dear friends, is through SIP, systematic investment plan. It is a magic for the middle class, salary class person, my dear friends. It is nothing but a recurring account which you normally open with the bank or post office, where you are investing regularly. Minimum amount you can start SIP is 500 rupees. And my dear friends, there is no limit, upper limit. You can invest 10 lakhs rupees a month. That is not an issue at all. So SIP is nothing but regularly investing money into an identified scheme. And SIP is a magic, my dear friends, because over a period of time, even a small SIP will give you a very good amount. Kindly minded. So SIP is the most suitable preferred mode of investment in mutual fund for middle class, salary class person. I just give you one example. Of course, I will not name the scheme because that will be unfair on my part, because that will be indirectly marketing of that scheme. But facts are there. I'm just sharing you the fact. One, Dr. Navi, one equity scheme was started in 1995. Again, I repeat, one equity scheme was started by mutual fund company AMC in 1995. And a smart investor like Dr. Navi started an SIP in that scheme. Because what does it mean? Every month he is investing 10,000 rupees per month regularly in that scheme, in equity fund. Regularly he is investing from 1995 till today, till this month, January itself, he is investing every month 10,000 rupees without any gap. Can you imagine, my dear friends, how much that money now Mr. Navi has got today of that SIP? Again, I repeat, 10,000 rupees per month regular investment through SIP in an equity scheme since 1995. Dr. Navi, it has become 9.57 crore. You see the magic. But 2-3 things here are to be understood very carefully. Firstly, Mr. Navi was very regular and particular, punctual in investing every month. Because during this period from 1995 to 2022, there would have been up and downs in the market. But Mr. Navi never stopped his SIP. When market was down, he continued. Normally, what happens when market goes down, people literally stop their SIP. I don't know, Baba, it is going, why we should incur losses. When market goes up, they continue with SIP. Never do this. Once you start it, continue it for longer period, maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years, maybe 20 years. And it is most likely that you will get more than reasonable return through SIP in mutual fund. Only condition is kindly continue with it. And if possible, kindly continue to increase the SIP with the increase in income. Suppose you start SIP with 10,000 rupees a month. After 5 years, you can say that now you can say 15,000, top it up to 15,000, from 10 to 15, or start a new SIP of 5,000. And my dear friends, I know a lot of my friends who have got more than one SIP. That is target-oriented SIP. Mr. Navi has got more than one SIP for higher education of children, one SIP for retirement plan, one SIP for going on vacation after 5 years, other SIP for marriage of children. But you can have multiple SIPs. And now on websites, SIP calculators are available. Suppose Dr. Navi says that he will need 4 crore rupees for her children higher education after 25 years. For the period is 25 years, target is 4 crore. You can go to the website, put these figures, and Dr. Navi, you will get the broad idea how much SIP you should start from today. So SIP is a magic for middle class, salary class person. But first two things I wish again repeat, don't stop your SIP in between, whatever the market movement might be. Second, there is no guarantee in mutual fund or for that matter security market. But historically, security market has given 15% average annual return, which no other product has given. Then one more unique feature of mutual fund is SWP, systematic withdrawal plan. Dr. Navi, SIP is when you are regularly investing, and SWP is opposite of it. Systematic withdrawal plan. We are regularly withdrawing money, and that is beneficial for our retirement life. Suppose Dr. Navi has accumulated more than 5 crore rupees for his retirement, and now he's going to retire next month. Of course, income will not be there. Salary will not be coming in his bank account on first next month. What to do? Because he will need not less than 2 lakh rupees a month. Simply, he can write a mail to the mutual fund company where he has mutual fund corpus for retirement. Kindly keep transferring rupees 2 lakh rupees per month from my mutual fund corpus to my bank account every month on first. And they will religiously do it. Well, ultimately, your money only. So the first benefit will be Dr. Navi will get 2 lakh rupees per month on his bank account. He will feel happy. He will continue to enjoy life as he has been enjoying. Second is his corpus, remaining corpus with the mutual fund is continuously invested, and he's regularly getting return or income on it. So that will also offset his inflation. So SWP is a better proposition for retirement life. I can go on for mutual fund for next 1 hour, but time is not there. Next time, Dr. Navi, if you give me time, we will discuss more on mutual fund. Last two things I wish to request all the participants, and through Navi only. And if Honorable Vice Chancellor is there with us, or the Dean of the Commerce Faculty, I will request you, sir. And that is, kindly start a campaign through your students and faculty members across your city, across your town. Make people aware that they should never invest their hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. These are scams. These are bogus schemes. There are a lot of scamsters roaming around. They will promise you higher return. They will promise you doubling your money in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. It is not possible at all. They will simply take your money, and after some month or years, they will simply vanish, and people will lose their money. And as a broad survey, more than 10 lakhs crores of rupees have been lost in such bogus schemes. So kindly start a campaign. And of course, who normally invest in those schemes? Not Dr. Navi, not educated faculty members, but those who are not so educated, sir. Your electrician, your plumber, your driver, your maid servant, your clerk, your grocery shop owner, your milk vendor. They people normally go for temptation and invest inside bogus scheme. So kindly start a campaign across your city, through your students, make as much people as aware that they should never invest their hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. And if they don't have anything, they simply put their money into bank or post offices. At least their money will be safe. They will not lose the money. And last thing, Dr. Navi, if you can open your video, last thing I want to tell you and throw you to all the participants. Can you open your video, Dr. Navi? Are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Last thing, sir.
Sir, please carry on. Please carry on.
Dr. Navi is telling to all the participants, prosperity is my right. Every individual has got right to be prosper, Dr. Navi. We all can be prosper. We might have born into a poor family, Dr. Navi. That may be an incidental, but we must not live as poor, and we must not die as poor. And that is possible if we manage our money in a most prudent way. If we start saving and putting our savings into best investment mode, we all can be prosper. God bless you all. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
If your dean sir is there, HOD sir is there.
Yes, sir.
I want his observation about my session or session of Mr. Raghu, my colleague,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, thank you so
if
much.
possible.
Sir, thank you so much for elaborating in detail the importance of investment and what are the alternatives of investment. Investment means you are not working, your funds are going to work for you. No, your funds are going to work for you. A rupee saved today is rupee earned. Once again, a rupee saved today is a rupee earned. With this statement, now I thank Shri Suryakant Sharma sir, Senior Consultant AMFI and former DGM SEBI. Thank you, sir, once again. Now may I request Mr. Sachindra Jian, Assistant Professor. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Now may I request Dr. H.Y. Kamble, sir, Professor and Dean, Faculty of Commerce, Rani Channamma University, Belagavi, to present presidential remarks, sir.
Dignitaries on the dais, respected resource persons, Vice Chancellor of our university, who inaugurated the webinar in the morning, and participants from not only India, but from other countries also. At the very outset, I congratulate the chairman, Professor Nami, for organizing this webinar on a very important topic, namely strategy for managing personal finance. And I thank him once again for inviting two knowledgeable persons as resource persons. Investing hard-earned money is a very risky business. With a view to earn more money, people end up investing their money in high-risk securities, and they end up burning their fingers. Investing one's hard-earned money requires the knowledge of the working of the security market and knowledge of investment alternatives that are there before us for investment. Similarly, we have to weigh both the return and the risk appetite and the time horizon we should choose the investment alternatives. These days, Ponzi financial institutions have emerged who promise high return, and they dupe the people. So leave aside earning a decent return on their investment, they lose their principal amount also, and they take recourse to committing suicide. So that should not happen. The resource persons have educated the young students as to how they should invest the money and where they can invest the money, where risk is less and return is high. SIP, as Professor mentioned very often in his speech, is a good thing that people should take recourse to. And people who do not know the functioning of stock security market should take recourse to investing their money in the units of mutual funds, where the principle of compounding will help them to have a better corpus at the end of the at the end of a particular time period. So with these few remarks, I hope that the lectures delivered by these two knowledgeable persons will go a long way in enlightening our youngsters and the general public about safe investment and take no risk, undue high risk in an anxiety to earn more money. There is nothing like less risk and more return. Where there is a high risk, the return is also high. Where there is low risk, the return is also low. So everything depends upon your risk appetite. If you are capable of taking high risk, then you should invest in high risk securities where the investment will also be high. So there should be a trade-off between risk and return, and the investors should choose the investment alternatives depending upon the risk appetite and the financial requirements that they have in their life, be it funding their education, funding the education of their children, or arranging the marriage of their daughter, or constructing a business a house to have a roof on their head. Accordingly, they should plan their investment and ensure that whatever objectives they have set for themselves are achieved thereby. So I thank the resource persons for delivering a highly educative lecture to the participants in this of this webinar. So I thank at the end, I thank the chairman of the department for giving me to attend to the lectures and to deliver the presidential speech. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for presenting presidential remarks. Now, may I request Mr. Sachindra GR, sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, RCU, Belagavi, to propose vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, one and all. It's my immense pleasure, and also I feel that it is my responsibility to express our sense of gratitude to all those who have contributed for organizing this webinar. The outset, I express my sense of gratitude to Professor M. Ramchandra sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of our university, for inaugurating this webinar. Thank you, sir. Similarly, I express my sense of gratitude to Professor H.Y. Kamble sir, Professor and Dean, Faculty of Commerce of our university. Thank you, sir. Similarly, I express, I thank Shri Vilasaragam, Assistant General Manager SEBI, and also Shri Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant Amfi and Founder DGM SEBI, for their resourceful and thought-provoking lecture. Thank you very much, sir. This opportunity to thank Professor B.S. Navi sir, Professor and Chairman, Department of Commerce of our university, for organizing and also welcoming the gathering to this webinar. Thank you very much, sir. And also I thank Mrs. Yasmin Begum Nadaf, Madam, Assistant Professor of our department, for comparing this program. Last but not the least, I thank all the participants inside and outside the university, both online and offline. Thank you very much for your patient hearing and kind participation. Thank you, and all. Have a nice day.
My dear sir, I am also thankful on my behalf and on behalf of Amfi. I am thankful to all of you, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Navi, Head of the Department of HOD, and all the organizing team members for giving me opportunity to me and Mr. Raghu. I am also thankful to Mr. Sabjar Ahmed for making sincere efforts for this webinar, and special thanks to all the participants. And Dr. Navi, I would be very happy to have continued relationship. Amfi would be very happy to have continued a relationship with your esteemed organization for organizing such program and more technical and academic program for your students and for your faculty members in your future also. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
God bless you all. Any question? If you have any question or any participant, they can raise their hand. I can ask. I can answer one or two questions. If any, yeah, Manoj, Mr. Sabjar.
Okay, sir. Please, Manoj, unmute your audio option, sir. Please.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Namaskar. Boliye.
Sir, certificate link is not receivable, sir. This is a problem.
No problem. He will send you. Okay. Mr. Mallikarjun.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Whether life insurance or term insurance good?
No, term insurance is a form of insurance only, my dear friends. There are three types of insurance available normally: money back, endowment, and term insurance. But term insurance is the cheapest insurance available for the young participants. Of course, you will get nothing back, but you can have a reasonable life insurance cover at the cheapest premium. That is why term insurance is more beneficial. Yeah, Mr. Dhananjay.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
We have so many actually investment avenues for the middle class people. My concern is what exactly we know that rupee received today is having more value than the rupee received tomorrow. How do you actually link the time value of money, even though I receive the lump sum amount after a certain period of maturity? Then what may be its productivity? Even with the same amount of investment today, what I am doing will be more valuable for the normal investor like me or not? That I wanted to know.
My dear friend, that is why investment is a necessity, because we are sacrificing some of our needs or desires today and putting our money into investment. What for? Because in future we will multiply that money, because we will need huge money in future. That is why the purpose and need of the money.
There is no the returns in real returns, what we feel.
No, that is why my whole emphasis was in that you should look that we all get some real return on our investment. And real return, again repeat, simply speaking, real return equal to notional return which we get minus inflation minus tax liability.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. M. Govindraj.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Is there any chances of insurance companies denying the claims after giving the policy, everything?
No, not at all. Don't worry. They are strongly regulated by IRDA, Insurance Regulatory Authority of India. IRDA takes due precautions. IRDA takes every aspect of them very well scrutinized and supervised. Don't worry, they will not vanish.
No, sir. One of my friends' family, they have taken an insurance policy and the person has died. The insurance company has denied giving insurance, saying that they have the right to deny even up to 3 years of taking the policy as per IRDA guidelines. That's what I'm asking this question.
My dear sir, actually, that is why it is very important, and we should read each and every terms and condition of the policy before we take it. Typically, what happens, we don't read, simply sign it. There would have been a clause in the policy itself that the policy benefit will be available only after 3 years, but it is not same with all the policy holders. There are policies which is right from 1 month or right from 1 year, benefit can be taken. So that is why we should read the terms and condition of the policy very carefully and take your time in decision, because we are very hurry in simply signing the paper without reading the document. Kindly spare your time. You are spending your money, you are saving your money, you are ensuring your future. That is why it is very, very important that we should understand each and every clause. And if you don't understand anything, call the agent. Ask him to explain you. Only then, once you are satisfied, only then you should sign the paper and give the check.
Thank you, sir. Noted.
Penal. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
sir. I'm
Yeah.
audible to you?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. My question is, as we are student now, So what is the main course provided by the SEBI that will help us to make a move towards investment journey?
My colleague Mr. Raghu had given you the details of the website SEBI has started and also an app, Sarthi.
Yes.
Kindly download the app and because there are a lot of material to read on investment.
Yes.
So kindly download the app and read first. Don't be hurry. Understand the product very carefully before investing.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Dr. Mukund. Dr. Mukund. Hello, Dr. Mukund. Mr. Sabjar.
Yes, sir. Dr. Mukund, sir, please unmute your ID option, please. And Dr. Dhananjay V. Patil, sir, please ask questions, sir, please.
Sir, I already asked the questions. No problem. Thanks.
Okay. Then put your hand down.
Brahma, say please ask questions, sir, please.
Sir, morning, sir. Thank you for giving a awareness.
Morning.
Sir, here I can ask a question, sir. I am investing my amount through systematic investment plan for the amount of 5,000. So it is good to enough to choose the multiple mutual funds, or is only like to invest in a single fund? I mean, I have nifty funds and the small cap, and also some health sector, so that I divided my 5,000 rupees in a different way, 1,000, and I plan for 10 years so that I can get a lump sum of amount.
My dear, very good thing you have started an SIP, and you have spread your SIP in different sectors. It is a very good thing. But for a good amount after 10 years, you should have to increase the SIP when it is possible. When your income increases, you please increase your SIP as well.
Is it, I mean, minimum how many years we want to be in the, I mean, to continue the SIP, sir? Is it 10
minimum 10 years, maximum 25-30 years, and to get the real benefit of it, 20 years.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Rekha Gaurpade.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, my sincere question to you. Sir, you advised there should be an emergency fund of 5 to 7 lakhs for the next expenses, or 6 months to 1 year to carry the expenses. So if I have been saving this 5 to 7 lakhs, what are my investment options where I'll be having this availability of my cash in case of emergency?
Ma'am, there are two options I am sharing with you. One is if out of 50%, you should ideally put your money in of emergency fund into bank FD, because that is liquid. Anytime you can withdraw that money. Secondly, you can invest 50% in liquid fund of the mutual fund. Liquid fund is also you can withdraw at any time, and you will be getting reasonable return. So there are two options for putting your money of investment of emergency fund in two options. A portion should go into FD and some portion go into liquid fund of the mutual fund. Okay. Okay, Dr. Navi, can we wind it up?
Yes, sir. Last question, sir. Last question.
Okay. Last. Tell me, sir. Tell me. Yeah, Dr. Navi.
Dear participants, if any question, please raise your hand, please.
Mr. Sabjar, there appears to be no question now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I request Dr. B.S. Navi, sir, please conclude this webinar, sir. Please, sir. 1 minute, sir. Navi, sir, exit the webinar. Please wait, sir. There is some internal issue, sir.
Mr. Sabdar, is there any provision for national anthem?
Sir, please wait, sir. Sir, BS Navi, sir, exit the webinar, exit due to some technical issue. And sir, please wait, sir. Please wait 2 minutes, sir. Please. One minute, sir. Sir, please unmute your audio option, sir. Dr. BS Navi, sir, please. Please unmute your audio option, sir, please.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Sir, thank you. Thank you so much for your interaction with our students, and which is going to be helpful in their future life for creating good fund for leading a healthy life. Thank you so much for your advices, sir. Thank you.
And definitely we will continue to have relationship, academic relationship and professional relationship. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will have some session in the future days too, where our students are going to be participants for that.
Yeah, and we'll be very happy to be with you physically also when the situation normalizes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Bye.